Welcome everyone, I'm Mark, co-founder and CEO of Nexio Projects. Today I invited Celia, our head of people and culture, with us to really deep dive into diversity and inclusion. Celia, tell us more about diversity and inclusion, how central that is at Nexio Projects.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Mark. So countless studies have really shown that diversity, equity, and inclusion is central in organizations and also improves not only the work quality, but also fosters creativity. We made sure to really embed techniques to prevent bias in the recruitment process, but also make sure that DE&I is embedded in the engagement that we have with our employees. So when we look at DE&I, of course, being such a trend the last couple of years, we actually had it the other way around, that our diversity is actually something that made our power and that we've had since the very beginning, and afterwards made sure to have the right policies in place, the right procedures in place to be a very diverse and especially inclusive workplace. I think the numbers don't lie. We have more than 20 nationalities at Nexio Projects. We really made sure that diversity is also present in every team in a very natural way. So instead of trying to attract and hire people from different nationalities, we made sure to hire the best people that are, in essence, attracted by that element of diversity. Having people that are head of teams with half nationalities, even most of our Dutch people are not fully Dutch, but half Dutch. And that's really due to the company culture that we created, attracting that diversity and making sure that we have the right pillars in place in order to be able to embrace diversity.
Thank you, Celia, for already sharing these amazing elements with regards to our diversity policies. One of the things in your position when, as head of people and culture, how did you include the diversity pillar into our values? Because that's also an important transition to make as an organization.
Yeah, of course. And as we've created kind of the Nexio values together and really thought about our repositioning and what we stand for about 2 years ago now, we really looked at what is it that makes our company us, and what are those pillars that we want to embed with, for example, abundance, curiosity, human at the forefront of everything we stand for. When you look at diversity and inclusion, the element of humanness, of course, is very important around this. So looking at the human element, not only with our employees, but also how do we embed the diversity that we have with our clients, with our partners, and so forth. So that's on the one side. On the other side, when you look at curiosity, I think how we look at curiosity and diversity at Nexio is really looking at how is curiosity of the other human taken into consideration. So not only how do I think, how do I want to manage my projects with my clients and so forth, but also what would a person in their situation be thinking, what would be processes that they would believe are the correct ones, or even putting yourself into the shoes of the other person. So that's the link between really curiosity and diversity, which I think is a very important connection to make.
And thank you for clarifying again and looking at all our values. And I think one element also on the humanness, we have an enormous amount of course, initiatives in the company that we designed together and with everyone actually. And one of these initiatives is the Women's Circle at Nexio Projects. How did you initiate that? That's of course a very specific one also that you took on your own.
Yeah, so actually it's not me on my own, it's really on the team, and what keeps those kind of initiatives alive that we have is not only us as leadership or even Felix and the other managers that we have that make sure to carry something, but it's about planting a seed and seeing how the employees actually pick that up and make it their own. And I think the Women of Nexio is a great example of that, where we just started with one session that was organized around the menstruation cycle and the workplace, because that was such a relevant topic to look at, to see how can women be comfortable in the workplace. We saw that the Women of Nexio Circle became an immense success with that first session, and then we decided, why don't we do it on a quarterly basis, with different people in the company being able to be representative of their topic. So then we had some sessions around solidarity in women, for example, around also gender biases, around what does a certain gender stand for. And the beautiful element, which I think really closed that women's circle perfectly, is to then take those ideas and present them to the wider group, where we had lunch and learns around each topic. And solidarity, for example, being one where men actually came forward and were like, actually, you know, it's very harmful for us to not be able to express our vulnerability. And that became a whole discussion. So I think the initiatives are not just about what they represent for that group, in that case being women, but also how does that resonate with the rest of the organization and actually becomes part of the organization. So that's a little bit about the Women's Circle, how we made sure to take a topic that's so universal in a way and see how can we be best practice employers, or at least try to be, with those topics that are important to us.
On behalf of Nexio Projects, thank you very much for listening. And again, it all starts with transforming yourself and changing yourself, and that's what we do with Celia today. Thank you very much.